afternoon, Mr. Armstrong. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm glad we're getting the opportunity to speak
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Um,
I think I got an email from you, and I know there was one around on there, in particular the Main Street vouchers that I wanted to go after, but as I was looking at it, there might be a few others as well. So I wanted to know how we might go about um, setting up that relationship.
um, well, the email that I sent you was for a massive sale that we're having. So if you choose any of those grants, the more you choose, the better it will be. What happens is when the grants are announced, then it eliminates lost time. Because what we've been finding is when the grants are announced, we're just starting to advertise, and then that cuts into actually writing the grant, which creates a kind of a rush on the back end. So we want to make it possible for you to utilize the entire period that the funding agency gives us from the start. So we can sign up to do the carbon monoxide one. That one has not been announced yet. The mainstream, I'm not sure if you qualify for the Ross. I mean the Jobs Plus. I would have to look into it. The youth build is a great one. Every housing authority should have that. And also the family unification. I do know that you currently have the FSS, don't you?
Yes.
So we could do your renewal as well. And do you currently have the Ross?
Um, no, we don't. Our public housing, we can have everything to that.
You've converted everything to RAD, but you still have some Section 8.
Yes.
Okay. So depending on what the funding agency says, maybe RAD developments will be eligible for the Ross because almost everyone is converting to RAD now. So they kind of have to switch it over, they'll be forced to. Um, but you were thinking of the mainstream, did you go after it last year?
We did, and we didn't get it. So I figured, it might be wise to switch up to that writer. I'm looking at the mainstream and family unification for sure, and then for the difference in 2,000, it might be prudent to go after one of them.
You should definitely go after the youth build. You should definitely go after the youth build. So are you familiar with what the youth build does?
Not entirely.
So the youth build is 1.5 million over 5 years, and it allows you to work with high school dropouts in your area to assist them to get their GED. So you would partner with a vocational institution or a community college, help the high school dropouts to get their GED, and then after they get their GED, you would assist them with some construction skill training. So they could do construction skills on one of your Section 8 houses to renovate it. Or you could actually partner with the Habitat for Humanity to renovate one of their, or build one of their houses. Because Habitat for Humanity is always looking for volunteer labor. And since you have the participants, they could get that labor, and so it's kind of like the perfect relationship there. And then after you assist them with that, you help them to gain employment. So you would partner with your local job center or workforce investment board for employment search assistance for the participants. So that's basically it. In the 1.5 million, you will pay all of your partners if they need payment. So you'll be able to give back to your community partners for services that they provide if they want payment. And then you'll be able to provide additional supportive services like transportation assistance, childcare, healthcare, and even a little bit of stipend the participants can receive. So that's basically the youth build, is just to assist high school dropouts to get their GED and then find employment.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in serving high school dropouts?
Yeah, as long as, we have the capacity, I guess the grant gives you money for a staffing position.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hire a project director that would report to you. Probably a case manager too, that would assist them to link them to supportive services and then also assist them to gain employment. Um, and then it has a 10% indirect cost, so that would include your oversight, payroll, auditing, accounting, any shared expense that you will now have because you're operating this program. 10% of the grant goes towards that cost. So that's basically what that grant does.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you heard about the Section 202 supportive housing for elderly?
Yeah.
You're not interested in it?
Yeah, we are. I don't wanna, we have to, because we don't have a central office cost center anymore, so basically all of our revenue is just, admin. So, we pretty much got a limited scope and limited, wherewithal, so, I gotta look at that in terms of, what our priorities are. And the family unification is something that local officials here have been expressing interest in. So that would be in the mainstream, like I said, we went after that last year, so those two have piqued my interest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but, and I'm thinking, like I said, for an extra 2,000, it might be prudent. And I'll still have to discuss this with my, finance staff. But, yeah, it would be ideal to go after, more than one, but, just making sure we have the, capacity. And then it would be also nice to know when these grants will be coming available, to know when in our fiscal year, the money will be expended.
I anticipate that the mainstream will be announced pretty soon because actually last year this time it was already announced. So I'm not sure why they haven't announced it yet. And the family unification was like a month afterwards. So if we have a repeat of last year, the mainstream definitely should be coming out any moment now. We actually won 21 mainstream last year. So we did submit for a few housing authorities, and we wrote 25 and we won 21. And we,
What is the criteria in terms of what's going to be the determining factor of winning or not?
well, it has a really long narrative section, so there's a lot to write. But one of the huge components of the mainstream is it asks for a lot of partnerships, and certain partners value more points. So when say a grant writer is going after those partnerships, they have to make sure that they focus on the partners that will get them the points and get them the most points. So that is highly important. And this grant, it's Section 8 vouchers to assist young disabled persons. So they have to be under the age of 62 years old. So that population needs certain types of assistance because they're disabled. So in your grant application, you have to make sure that you concentrate on the assistance that young disabled people will need. And so you have to convince the funding agency that you understand this population and you'll be able to operate this program to really serve that population. So that's very important. It does have a few other documents, so you have to make sure you submit everything. So you're thorough and there are no deficiencies there in terms of all of the forms and documentation that they request. The narrative has to respond to what the funding agency wants you to say about this population, and you have to have your partnerships in place. And that is one of the reasons why I am really pushing this package, is because those partnerships are so important that what we have found here at Comprehensive Grants is when we wait 2-3 weeks before the grant is due, and we have to get these partnership letters. Well, some of these partners, they have to go to their board, the board have to approve the letter before it can be signed on. And then if there isn't a board meeting, then you miss your opportunity to get that letter. So what we wanna do is make sure that we sign up our clients before it is announced, so that that puts us in the best possible chance to be successful for you. Because having everything for these grant applications is really important. So partnerships is a huge one, especially when you have one partner, they may be 5 points, another partner is 3 points. If you don't get that letter, you can't recover from 5 points. The entire country's going after this grant. So if you're 5 points less, there's just no way you can recover just because of one letter.
Yeah, what kind of, coordination and support would you need from us?
Just to make sure that we sign the contract now, so that when this grant is announced, if this grant is brought online tomorrow, Friday, we can get started, as soon as possible, especially with securing those partnerships, because the partnership is huge. We already understand the narrative section. It may be difficult for another grant writer to understand the narrative component, but we understand the narrative perfectly fine. But we don't have control over the partner letters, and we need that time to get you your letters. So we have to make sure that we start once it is announced.
Okay, I'm also interested in knowing why we didn't get that grant last year, and also reading the narratives of the other grants, because obviously it's a calculation, I mean, if we go for it, it would, um, it's kind of all or nothing, and it would be obviously more worth our resources to increase our chances. And right now, really haven't, without able to read the narratives and know if there's any factors or variables within that may preclude or include that we get it, then, it's hard for me to really make a determination, and be, a good steward of our resources. So, that's another factor as well.
Yes, that's true. Well, we definitely want to work with you. We're a proven, I believe we're a superior product in the marketplace. So for whatever reason you didn't get it the last time, you definitely wanna go the path of success. So, I would encourage you to give us a try and see what we can do for you. Just like we've done for so many housing authorities and agencies. So we've won 21 mainstream, and you want a mainstream, so you should definitely give us a try.
Okay, I forgot I was gonna ask you, well, yeah, so your prices, right here it says your prices expired, June 14th.
Yes, because I was trying to put some emphasis on, or some urgency on getting you to respond. But I'm willing to extend it, and that's the reason why I'm having this conversation now, is because my goal is to make sure that we are hired before these grants are announced. Because that would put everyone in the very best position. Another thing about grants is, do you know the average success rate of a grant writer?
What's that?
It's 25%.
Is that right?
That is right. So if the average success rate of a grant writer is 25%, and say you won 3 grants this year for 2019, how many grants would you need to apply for?
4. You get 1.
Yeah. So that's even one of the reasons we put this package out, is because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding behind grants and grant writers, Because when an agency sit there and they hire a grant writer and the grant writer writes one grant, there's a lot of misunderstanding with why that grant writer did not win that one grant. And the reason why the grant writer didn't win the grant is because grants are free money. So everybody's going after it because everybody wants free money. So in order for you to be successful, you have to buy a lot of tickets in order for your number to come up. So this package is, we created this package, one, because we want you to apply for more grants. So we made it so affordable that you can't say no. And then two, we're asking you to sign a contract before it's announced so that it gives everyone enough time to be successful. So we're not rushing, making mistakes on the back end, not doing a great job for you because we've been hired 1-2 weeks before the grant is due. So that's not setting us up for success and making sure that we do a good job for you. So one, it's a package deal because you have to do more to be successful. Two, it's extremely affordable, so there's no issue with the cost. And then three, we need the time to do good work.
Okay, so, let me, give this a thought and, let you know definitively. I wasn't scheduled to be in the office tomorrow, but I'm write your number down and, call you from my cell phone, which is a 513, it's a Cincinnati Exchange. And I'll write your email down too. I'm not synced up yet for a few different reasons, so if I email you, it would have to, and I'm not in the office, it would have to be from my personal. But I'll, write your info and,
I can give you my mobile number right now. Do you have a pen and paper?
yes,
It's 202 413 8860.
okay.
Do you think you've heard enough to make a decision?
Yeah, it's just really from here looking at our budget. Okay, so yeah, let me, kick around a few things and, give you a decision by tomorrow, if that's fine.
That's perfectly fine. You can call me or you can text me. I will be available.
Okay, alright, thanks.
Okay. Do you have any more questions for me?
That's it.
Okay, all right. Well, if you do, just let me know. I'm here.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you too. Bye now.